So today I wanted to make another video on NUTX health, and I made a video on NUTX a little while back, but I kind of just want to give an update for any new and returning viewers because I think this stock, it's an amazing stock, and I think it's really just waiting to break out. I do hold a good portion of this stock in my portfolio. So I kind of just wanted to highlight, why I think now especially is a great time. You definitely don't want to miss out on when the next catalyst comes and when NUTX really hits new highs. So, when I made my last video, I talked about, kind of this drop from these all-time highs around 170, 175. And that came because of the share dilution that was posed by management, and investors, kind of just hit the stock with the drop, but it's kind of calmed down a lot since then. We saw this drop from 170 all the way to 150, around 115. And since then, it's been probably around a month. We've been really just hovering around that level, sometimes going a little lower, a little higher, but we've been hovering around that level. So again, that's a great thing to see. We're kind of just really just waiting for the next catalyst to hit. I don't think we're going to naturally break those levels until the next catalyst. The next guaranteed catalyst is going to be earnings, which will be mid-August. So again, you have until really then until you really are going to see the stock jump. But obviously you could have other announcements that are made that could send it a little higher. But I think the really big focus for this stock is their next earnings. And if you don't know what NUTX does, it's a healthcare company that they build these mini hospitals in places where there aren't really bigger hospitals for use. And, it's a really great business model. They're just kind of finding their footing in the healthcare industry, and their revenue growths are really, they're great. Just to highlight, you see these revenue growths here, just now starting to really, really pick it up. You see here, that's why next earnings is so, so important. You want to continue to see that upward trend, which will probably come. And then you also have a big focus for them is profitability. And there's the last 2 quarters have been profitable, and that's a great thing to see. So kind of maintain that profitability. And then, you look at their price to earnings ratio, only 9.55 right now compared to a sector average around 27. So, the stock is immensely undervalued. Obviously, there's always going to be risks when it comes to a stock like this. It's very small still, only $635 million in market cap. So with that, it can be easily manipulated, and you kind of maybe won't always get the price that's represented unless you have a huge catalyst like next earnings. So I think until that mid-August earnings date, you may not see it move much. Probably won't see it go down a whole much more, but probably won't see it go up past these 170 all-time highs. But if you're looking at the price metrics here, in terms of the price targets, the price target here is 248. So after that next earnings, you could easily see it break 200 if they continue to be profitable and continue with the revenues. And this is, again, with that type of, that's almost 2x potential just after their next earnings, or shortly after that. Definitely a stock you want to be invested in. That's why I kind of love it so much. It's very healthy financially. You see the Seeking Alpha quant rating. This is a system that I kind of look at every single day. They get a nearly perfect score. Out of 5, they get a 4.99. That's 4th out of all stocks on the U.S. market, and they basically have A+ in everything. I mean, their ratings are they're insane. So this is a growing company that I think every one of you should be in. I think it's, again, no one talks about it. It's really just under, because again, you look at their track record. They haven't had the greatest track record since they went on the market. They had to do a bunch of reverse stock splits and stuff. So not really talked about or followed by analysts at all. But you're really starting to see them gain traction here in the last year or so, up 2,000%. So that they're really making a turnaround, and they're kind of trying to climb back to that initial valuation that they got. I think it was around $7 billion when they went on the market. So again, a lot of climbing still left to do for them, but that's an interesting idea, is them climbing back to that initial valuation of $7 billion. That would be great. That would be more than a 10x return if you were invested. So definitely, if you're new or if you already watched another video, if you haven't invested yet, I would 100% consider investing in this. After their earnings mid-August, you could definitely see this thing climb back to 170 and then eventually 200. and it's kind of, again, they're very financially sound and they're heading in great places. So let me know what you think about NUTX. And yeah, see you next week.